fanatics and fantasy aficionados, gather round. It's a jubilant milestone as we celebrate the 5th installment of the Commissioner's Cup Fantasy Football League. Returning for their heroic 5th year, the legends of the league, Jason Kong and Eric Jiang, aim to etch their names in history once more.
This is the cream of the crop, Mark. These two Brine Bowl managers are the only two managers to participate in all 5 years of the Commissioner's Cup, have never been relegated, and have a championship and a half to show for it between the two of them. Jason Kong is a husband, father, reigning co-champion, and most importantly, the most prolific and persistent fantasy trader in the history of fantasy sports. Eric Jiang is also a former champion and one of the most consistent overall performers in the history of the league. It's safe to say that we'll likely be seeing the two of them again next year.
And here for their 4th year in the fray, the relentless trio of Cowstube, Shields, and Chris, eager to seize the glory that eluded them last season.
Well, Mark, glory certainly has been elusive to two of the 4th-year managers here. Both David Shields and Costa Dio have finished as high as 2nd in the past, but have failed to achieve total victory at the cruel hands of players like Najee Harris and Justin Tucker, respectively. They are knocking on the door of a championship, but will this be the year that the fantasy gods finally answer? And Chris Liu returns for his 4th stint in the Commissioner's Cup, already with a championship and 2 relegations under his belt. So I'm looking forward to seeing him big or at home by the end of the season.
In their 3rd year, the triumvirate of Cabo, Silverthaw, and Neil, battle-hardened and ready to face new challenges.
Oh look, it's me. Obviously, the founder and namesake for the league needs no introduction, but for the sake of decorum, here's just a little something off the top of my head. Neil is proud to return to the league not only as the all-powerful, highly revered, infallible commissioner, but also as a dominant but humble former champion. But moving along here, last year's co-champion Kevin Barine and former 4th place finisher David Silverthaw round out a junior class with a total of 3 relegations across its 3 members. Kind of a weird way for me to say that we've all been relegated before. In fact, the last time we saw Silb in the Commissioner's Cup, he was drafting an unrostered wide receiver named Jalen Saunders in the 9th round. Fingers crossed it goes better for him this time around.
Our sophomores taking Ben back for more after a thrilling rookie year that left us spellbound.
You know, Mark, Ben Edelman's rookie year in the Commish Cup was something of a roller coaster. The type of roller coaster that spends the first half of the season traveling straight downhill, followed by a second half that was basically a straight uphill climb. Now that I think about it, that sounds like a pretty crappy roller coaster, but the point is that Ben started the 2022 fantasy season 0-7 and faced certain relegation, only to finish the season on a miraculous 6-1 run to save himself. Locked and loaded already with 2 kickers and 2 defenses, he appears ready to do the same again this year. On the other hand, sophomore Tate Tabtiang is as steady and consistent as a manager can be. Is this the year he finally breaks through being a bridesmaid and finally becomes the proverbial fantasy bride? Also, aside, Tate, sorry for not inviting you to the Facebook chat until like yesterday. That's totally my bad.
And last but not least, we welcome the fresh faces to the league, Tim and Sheeran, who bring new excitement and unpredictability to the Commissioner's Cup.
Yes, indeed, Mark. These rambunctious rookies are really raring to rearrange the rankings. From across the pond for the very first time, we have Tim Gilboy, affectionately known as Angry Captain. Tim hopes to carry the flag and set an example for all future International Commissioner's Cup members with a landmark season this year. Speaking of landmarks, the Grand Canyon is a landmark that was created by a river slowly eroding away rock over millions of years. Similarly, rookie manager Zinran Wang's resistance to joining this league also appears to have been eroded away after refusing the invitation multiple times in the past. I'll work on the segues. Back to you, Mark.
The stage is set, the Warriors are ready. Who will claim the coveted Commissioner's Cup? Stay tuned because the fantasy football frenzy is about to begin.